episode of the No Rules Podcast. I'm Aaron Hilton, as always, joined by my main man, Malik Smith. Malik, what's happening, my man?
What's going on, bro? Been a while. We went radio silent for a minute there.
Yeah, man, it's been a couple of weeks. It feels like it feels like it's been forever. The whole landscape of the NBA playoffs is changed.
Tell me about it.
Baseball hasn't really changed much for me, but the landscape of the NBA playoffs has changed. Are you allowing yourself to feel it yet, or are you still afraid to let those thoughts creep into your head?
Um, for me personally, it is difficult not to think ahead because I do this for a living in terms of writing and working and like a big part of betting is looking forward. So I
Mm.
have to some degree sort of look forward. Um, but it's a one game at a time situation. For those who don't know, I don't know how they would know this, but for those who don't know, as a diehard New York Knicks fan, uh, Knicks are one win away from the finals. I'm stunned, quite frankly.
Y'all haven't lost a game since game three. Yeah, since game three of the first round.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, if you would have told me coming into this postseason run that the only team to get even one win off the Knicks would be the Atlanta Hawks, I'd have told you a liar.
right.
Unless the Knicks lost that first series, in which case that would have to be the truth.
So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of chatter. There's been a lot of chatter about
Mhm.
uh, paths and difficulty,
Mhm.
strength of schedule, call it whatever you want, even though that doesn't actually apply in the playoffs. You play who you play who
Right.
advances. Um, I do recall people saying, pretty openly that the Knicks would lose to the Hawks or that they would have trouble with them and that this is, you know, the biggest potential upset in the first round, right?
Mhm.
Um, and they were down 2-1. So
Right. So you
in
did
some
have trouble
ways,
with them.
in some ways, people, I guess in theory, were right if you count
Mhm.
two 1 point losses as trouble. But um, I this team has responded in a way that is unbelievable. Um, we got to your Sixers. A lot of people said, "Hey, how are they going to stop Embiid? How are they going to stop Maxey? How are they going to stop, Paul George?" Um, we did, you know, pretty handily.
I mean, Maxie
It
stopped
was
himself, but the others,
okay.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he stopped himself in a series in which winning is the whole point. Um,
You did.
sure. And now we
Mhm.
now we get to this
No.
series. Now we get to this series, and again, people talking a lot of craziness about how the Knicks would struggle with the Cleveland Cavaliers, who barely made it to the Eastern Conference Finals,
Were
and
you
they're
just
up.
talking to Maurice? Because that's the one I feel like once you beat the Sixers, and Cleveland was able to handle business in their series against Detroit, I felt like Detroit would have been like the last team that people could really talk themselves into beating the Knicks because they're the one seed and they got K and all that. You know, Cleveland has that James Harden thing looming over their
Well,
heads. I don't think
y-
a lot of people would.
yeah, well, you would think, right? But I think
Yeah,
people still wanted to talk themselves into it.
maybe.
I
Yeah,
I I expected this to be a bit more competitive. Uh, in
same.
the sense that like I thought the games would be a bit more back and forth. But I've said on multiple occasions that we would smoke either Boston. I mean Boston. Well, we smoke Boston too. Um, that we would smoke Detroit. We would smoke Cleveland. Like I wasn't concerned about either team for a couple reasons. One, I'm as much basketball as I've watched, especially in the playoffs. I did not see anything that Detroit was doing that made me nervous from an offensive standpoint. Cade
Right.
Cunningham is unbelievable. Like unfreaking believable. Love him, love his game. Loved him since Oklahoma State. But you cannot go 1-5 in the playoffs. And Tobias Harris, much as I love him, much as you hate him,
I was about to say, careful. You walking the tightrope right here.
Let me land. Let me land. As much as I love him, as much as you hate him, for all his flaws, for everything that he's good for, if he's your number two scorer, like that's a problem. They were not built to actually win in the playoffs because every team was going to do the exact same thing that Orlando did. Every team was going to do the exact same thing that Cleveland did, which is we're going to let Cade go 1-on-5 because the rest of these guys just don't they don't have the ability to score on their own. You're relying on Dennis Jenkins coming off the bench or Duncan Robinson, who I thought was actually really good in the
He
series,
was.
except for
He had a very good series.
one game he had the back injury was I think game maybe it was game 5.
I don't know.
I think he was out game 5, came back game 6, they won. Either way, Detroit didn't make it. Cleveland, I mean, aside from the James Harden part of it, right? Like they have flaws. Mitchell is just as vulnerable as a spot on the defense as Harden is. I'm not surprised that my team is up 3-0, and I'm not surprised that they are playing really, really great basketball because I always knew that they had another level to them. But I would be insane if I ever said that I thought that they would win 10 games straight in the playoffs because that's so hard to do, regardless of who you're playing. And you can't. I don't like people doing the revisionist history of, well, there's a lot of reasons why this team actually wasn't that good. It's like, well, why didn't you say that before the series started instead of when they were down 3-0 or when they got swept or when they got smoked in 4 straight games or 3 straight games or whatever. I feel like I just don't think we need to do that. I think we're seeing such really good basketball that we should just be able to appreciate the good basketball, regardless of who's got the jersey on. And I feel like that goes for whether you're a fan of the team, whether you're not a fan of the team. I've had lots of conversations with other Knicks fans who were like, "Is this team really going to win like 12 games in a row?" I'm like, if you took their jerseys off the Knicks and put any other team's jersey on, and you just looked at how they were playing and said like, wow, this team's playing really well. I don't think you like the fact that it's the Knicks and the Knicks have had such a history of not winning. I think people are stunned, but the players that they have are great. The coach is unbelievable. He's done a really great job. They're just humming. They're just absolutely humming. So I know that was a long-winded.
But I mean, it's first of all, it's been a while since we've been able to get on, and you've been able to get your shit off. And like in the interim, it feels like all 10 of those wins have happened in between the last time we've been on. So it's only right. As a long-winded brother myself,
there might be 12 wins in there.
Hey,
I don't even know. Like, honestly, I'm losing count, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But the next time we talk, they might be planning the parade and shit. So you know what I mean. But like the reality of it is I just think, in terms of the watchability, which is ironic for me to say because I've been so buried in work that I really haven't been able to catch a whole lot of these playoff games. But I think the watchability is there for the Knicks because of the fact that it's not Jalen Brunson hero ball. Because I think what no Knicks fan really wants to admit to themselves is that Jalen Brunson plays that same brand of basketball that people are killing Shea for, that people kill Embiid for, that all that stuff that the foul, throw your head back, cry to the ref thing. And it's, are there elements of that? But like that's I think the more of the modern game is the way that some of these guys play. And it's more about, they call it the cerebral part of the game, but in reality it's kind of like you're just skirting the rules. I think you see that a little bit. Like that super clip of Shea falling down on every attempt is like a microcosm of what basketball nerds love and what pure sports people like I feel like me and yourself are, and a lot of the masses are, especially a heavy swath of the Knicks fan base, which goes back years and years, is that you just want to see good hoop, and you have a lot more capable players on this team than Jalen Brunson. Karl Anthony Towns is the first ballot Hall of Famer without the Knicks. So I think,
I don't even know if I go that far, but
getting that Karl Anthony, because it's a basketball, not an NBA Hall of Famer, but basketball spans your entire basketball career. So that's the one thing about the Naismith Hall of Fame, is that if you were just good in college, you can make the Hall of Fame. But That's why Coach K is in there. But if you look at what they have been able to unlock, and then you sprinkle in things that happen for good teams that play good basketball, and you have the Josh Hart game where Hart can hit 5 of 10 threes. It's like, yeah, he doesn't have to do that literally any other time throughout this playoff run, but like the one time that we can put on tape that, hey, if you want to just sit and let an NBA starter stand and count the fucking laces on the basketball before he lets one go from 3, by all means do that. But say what you want about the weaknesses that he has. He was like a 40% 3-point shooter during the year. So it was a dumbass strat. Like I cannot fathom defensive coordinator building a strategy around. Like, it's not to say that he's not a 40% 3-point shooter in the way that a lot of other 40, but like,
yeah, he's not.
You're letting an NBA player shoot like it's not like it's Shaq out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. You said a lot there. On that last part, I agree. He's not a 40% shooter in the way that like Jalen Brunson is a 40% shooter, because like
right.
Jalen Brunson's taking much harder.
Or Mikal, isn't Mikal also 40? So it's like, yeah, it's like
percent. But
yeah.
Like,
so
if all his shots were wide open the way Josh Hart's shots were open, he'd probably hit.
He'd be shooting way higher. Right?
But to your point, like it's almost like the Cavs are forced into this situation because the Knicks are playing so good that it's like, okay, pick your poison. Like their whole strategy that game was okay, and I mean they didn't execute it great, but it's like, okay, we're gonna double Brunson, get him off the ball, and Brunson's like, okay, I'll just find open shooters, and the open shooter that they could find was Josh Hart, and they never even ran out to him, which that's the part of it I don't understand. So it's like
that's my thing.
Yeah, it's less about the strategy because, of course, every NBA team is like, we're going to leave the weakest shooter open, but that don't mean you shouldn't close out to him. I mean, like they just
no, but that was my point of the strategy. Yeah. It wasn't like you understand doubling. I mean, Philly tried to run the same thing of double Jalen Brunson and get him off the ball. It didn't work for Philly. It was like you had 4 games to watch it not work for Philly, so you're going to do it, okay? But you're going to take it to another level by like at least Philly's still closing out on the open shooter in the corner that just it went in. But this one, you're just like, oh, it's Josh Hart out there. Like, they're letting it happen like it's Mitch Robinson on the catch in the corner. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, this is an NBA game.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this too on the front of when you asked me before, like if I'm looking ahead and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've won. I don't want to jinx it, but I've won some bets this postseason, specifically. In this series, I've been hammering the second half spread because I knew watching Cleveland in the second round.
They just quit.
Like, well, no, I mean, it's not even that they quit. They don't have any legs. They played 14 games coming into the series, 2 Game 7s. Like they were already kind of gassing out watching them against Detroit in the second half. Like they just kind of didn't really have a whole lot of push. So, if you ask me like, oh, so you're saying you expected the Knicks to come back from down 22 in the fourth quarter? Like, no, I didn't expect them to be down 22 in the fourth quarter. I didn't expect them to come back in that game. But once they started making the run, I'm like, this is exactly what I expected to happen. I expected Cleveland to kind of run out of gas in the second half because they don't have anything left to give for a full 48 minutes. And also the mentality aspect of it, I think like they kind of are giving up. I mean, game 3 is a perfect example. That last 2 minutes left to go, Brunson just like dribbles the ball through between 5 guys and just lays it up, and no one even attempts to put a hand up except Max Strus, who was chasing him around. Like that was certainly giving up, but it's also a factor of like they are physically unable to muster the energy to like try as hard as they should, which is why some of these games don't look as competitive in the second half. But I don't take anything away from the Knicks. I think they're beating them into submission.
But you can only play the games that are laid out in front of you. First of all, so I've never really been into the all the easy path thing. Like I know there are people that have said, and I might have said it a little bit about the Patriots on their run, but that's more of my hatred of the Patriots than real. belief in that because
You hate
you
the
play the.
Patriots? No.
I know it's so weird, right? Because I'm from New England, but no. But it is the reality is you can only play the games that are in front of you, and at this point in the postseason, like I'm not going to apologize for beating the Cavaliers who are tired and have played 2 Game 7s
Hell
and all
no.
this, that, and the third. Like this is what's going to happen. I'm not going to take credit away from Jalen Brunson for breaking down James Harden, who's not really known as a great defender. Really much the opposite. Like no, James Harden is paid to play basketball. And in basketball, unlike some other sports, a lot of other sports, is a two-way sport. So you are not required to just play offense and then you go sit down for 20 minutes, like they do in the NFL. Like, no, you get your black ass down there and you got to defend somebody. And the guy you're defending is barely 6 feet tall and isn't jet super duper quick. He's got a herky jerk motion to it, but it's not like you have to run around and chase somebody on 23-year-old legs. You should be able to, keep up with Jalen Brunson or give him some cushion and close the space. And he's a lefty like you, so you should know all the lefty tricks. He probably grew up watching you play. He probably got some of them tricks from you. And he's really making you look like a traffic cone out there. And when he's not doing it, Josh Hart is doing it. When he's not doing it, Carl Anthony's doing it. And it's just they're taking their turns. You found something in Landry Shamet in that last series against the 76ers, in my opinion. He can become that wild card. That some games he might be disappearing from the box score. In some games, you're like Landry Shamet had 14 points. How did that happen? You know what I mean? But I'm very, very impressed with the run that you guys have been on. And I mean, it doesn't matter who comes out of the West. It's not like I would say, the Knicks are just going to run away with it. But I won't be surprised if the Knicks, are holding that O'Brien Trophy at the end of the year. I really do believe that whenever they win this fourth game, I don't know if they get to finish a sweep, if it's a gentleman's sweep, or if Cleveland's able to rattle off a couple of wins. They won't win 4 games in a row against New York. So I feel pretty confident in saying the Knicks will be in the finals this year. It's just a matter of when, and I think they have a real shot at taking home the big trophy. So shout out to you, man. You get to root for a finals team. First time in a long time.
Bro, since 99. First time since 99, which I remember that year. I remember being a kid and playing basketball with my uncle and telling him he could be Patrick Ewing and I was going to be Michael Jordan. Because every kid liked Michael Jordan, but
Every kid,
I still remember them. I still remember those. Like Starks was my favorite player off those teams. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's unfortunate that because of several factors outside of the players' control, that the franchise under this particular owner has failed to put together even like a passable product for so many years because. You see the way that they, unfortunately, in your case, it was pretty sad the way that they took over Philly. But, people from New York who love basketball move all across the country and still love their team, and they will show up for their team, whether it's Cleveland or Atlanta or Philadelphia, or would not be stunned if there was some Knicks fans in San Antonio, Oklahoma City. You know what I mean? Like, and if there's no fans that live there, people will travel there. In part because it's so expensive to go to a Knicks game that it'd be cheaper to fly to San Antonio anyway. But,
just for edification, there are floor seats, so take that with a grain of salt. But I think it said Darren Norvell had tweeted out that some anonymous buyer had bought 2 floor seats to Game 1 of the NBA Finals at Madison Square Garden for I don't know if the value was combined or if it was each, but it was like almost $300,000.
$276,000.
Yeah.
I believe it was combined. I actually did this story for the Post. We looked at.
Shout out the Post. Shout out to you.
Yeah, right. I just looked at the secondary market to see like what the tickets were looking like for a potential Game 3 at the Garden. There was one ticket behind the Knicks bench for $192,000.
That's disgusting, bro.
$192,000. I actually looked at Zillow to see if you could buy.
I can't get my student loans forgiven, but you can charge almost $200K for one seat in an NBA arena. You know what I'm
Guess
saying?
what? It's a secondary market. So if somebody's willing to pay that, then shout out to the person who just decided to make 200 grand on. Me personally, I just go to the game, but I mean, if I had
Watching
the chance
on
to
TV.
no, I'm saying, but if I had the chance to if I own those seats and I had a
Mhm.
chance to make 200K off of them
Mhm.
seats, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. Now, granted, if you have
What's
those
the
seats,
price? What's the price they'd have to get to for you to give up? We'll forget games down the line. NBA Finals, Game 3, you've got, we'll call it 100. We'll make it realistic for us. You got 100 level seats. What's the price that they would
realistic
have to
for
pay
us?
you?
I don't think you.
I mean,
can
just
start
we're not floor
200
seat
level.
niggas.
Let's say 200 level.
I'd give you 100. Like 100. Maybe you've been a Knicks fan since the 90s. Say you was a season ticket holder.
Okay.
Because these are season ticket holders that hold most of these tickets. All right. So we'll say that by now, in the 3 decades that you've been a Knicks fan, that now you're down to the 100 level. You might not be like row A, but maybe you row J or something like that. But you in the 100 level, you got pretty good seats.
Okay.
You ain't tripping no referees, but they can hear you yelling. So what's the price someone got? What they got to come off of to give up that ticket?
$350.
K?
Yeah.
Damn. You drive a hard bargain, sir.
Dude, it's game 3 of the NBA Finals.
There's going to be a game 4.
I understand.
No matter what.
I understand that, but that's the reason why. That's the reason why I would sell it. Period. Because it's like, okay, well, there has to be a game 4, so I'd go to game 4, which is always more pivotal anyway.
Yeah.
But because you're either clinching or you're fighting back or whatever the case.
Right.
But that first game is obviously going to be insane. Like that first game at the Garden, because they're going to be on the road to whether it's San Antonio or OKC. But yeah, that game 3 is going to be absolutely raucous. I mean, I'd be stunned if they don't burn the building down, win or lose.
Do you think that you'll be outside at any point in time tomorrow evening, considering that it is a holiday and that could be the day that the Knicks clinch their first trip to the NBA Finals in 27 years? It could get crazy downtown, man. You gonna be outside or you gonna be inside safe? I know you technically live in Jersey, so it's not gonna be as bad for you if you're at home, but some people might want to just absorb some of that aura. You know what I mean?
If I'm being honest, I have considered going down there. I considered it for a clinching scenario because I thought the series would go 5. Still could go 5, but I don't know that Cleveland has anything left.
I think it's a wrap. I think it's a wrap.
They don't seem to be showing that they have the fight left.
I will say this about Cleveland: they're not going to go out the way Philly did at home. It's not going to be a 40-piece, I don't think. But I do think you'll still be able to celebrate a little early. I don't think it'll be that close, but it won't be 40. Maybe like 10 to 15.
But my plan was like if they clinch in the city at the Garden, that I would like just go down there just to see. But to be honest, man, like I was at a watch party yesterday watching Game 3, and it was cool, being with other people and watching and having drinks, having a good time. But I was trying to watch the game, man, and at a certain point, it's like people be talking, and I'm yelling at the TV. No, I'm having conversations too, but I'm yelling. I'm like, "Yo, box out! Yo, is the shooter in the corner? And it's like, "Yo, does this nigga coach the team? Like, what's up?" No one said that, but
this is why I don't let people watch me watch the Raiders. Like, I don't even think that we've been in the same room when I watch the Raiders play. Now I get crazy. Like I'm a crazy fan of all of the teams that I like, but it's something about those Raiders. Like when I watch, I can't be around people. It took years before I let Jasmine be around me when I'm watching the Raiders because I'm really a crazy. Duke is the only other team that's worse. It's worse with Duke. Duke is the worst one. I think we have been around each other when I watch Duke play though, but like I just can't. Like if you could have been in that room with me, not even this year's loss, last year's loss in the Final Four.
That was a tough one.
That one I think I actually scared Jasmine a little bit. I got so mad at the end of that damn game. It was like, it was just disgusting. It was disgusting to watch. So it's funny to hear this come out of you because it's like, I've been there. And I'm sure people will be like,
granted, we're winning. Like, we're winning the game.
Probably by a lot. I'm over here watching, my lottery pick 7-foot big man get out hustled for a rebound by some 6'6" future enterprise rent-a-car fucking manager. But your team's up like 20 points in the fourth quarter and you're screaming at dudes to get over on screens.
I mean,
hey, play the game the right way.
You gotta be. Listen,
you know what I'm saying? Till zeros on the clocks.
Got to give them that energy, but
especially after game one, you've shown what could happen if you let your foot off the gas pedal. So
listen, I want to go back to that real quick because I really don't feel like I talk my shit. First of all, that game was insane. The finish was insane. Unbelievable finish. I said this in the chat with a couple of the homies. You know my guys. And I'll say it here, man. Jalen Brunson is the best player in the Eastern Conference. And I know you said some egregious things on this podcast about.
Wait. Okay, hold up. Time out. I want to pause you. Right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you talking strictly this playoff run during the 25-26 season, or do you mean period in the entire Eastern Conference? Jalen Brunson is the best player
in the entire Eastern Conference. I said this in September.
Okay, so you are on drugs. Got it. Continue.
Then I've been on drugs in September.
Heard you.
But in all seriousness, like I'm watching this dude play basketball, and it's like he's doing everything. Like he's doing everything that you would ask a star player to do. Even if you said like, oh well, we talked about Harden not being a two-way player. Like Brunson, I'm not saying Brunson's a defensive player.
Please don't.
But his like fight on the defensive end, like he's not just gonna let you, beat him up the way Harden was just like, well, I guess I just have to stand here and move this way, move that way, move this way, put my hand up. It's like, you know what I mean? Like there's no energy from Harden's side of the ball on defense, whereas Brunson leading the league in charges, like he's fighting, he's active in passing lanes, like he does a lot of the stuff that he does what he can, right? He does what he absolutely can on the defensive end and tries not to make himself as much of a liability. And then on the offensive end, like there's nothing that he can't do other than dunk. Like he's getting into the lane with ease. It doesn't matter who's on him. Put a big guy on him, put a small guy on him. Like you said earlier that he wasn't quick, but I would say he's not fast, but he's absolutely quick. But
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's
down the floor. Like he gets out.
He's shifty.
He'll pass the ball when he needs to pass the ball. 14 assists in game 2. Like he just does all of the things. And I understand when I say this, people like the first person someone said was like, "So you think he's better than Giannis?" It's like, yeah, actually, I do think he's better than this version of Giannis that only plays 20 games a season.
He's not better than Jason Tatum at all. So I want you to get that out your mind. But I want to put that out. But like,
how is he not better? How is he not better?
How is he better? Jason Tatum has been in 2 NBA finals. Jason Tatum has been in 2 NBA finals. He's won one of them. He's been first team All NBA as much, if not more, than Jalen Brunson has been. He actually not only is a better defender, but he defends better players than Jalen Brunson is not asked to guard a capable offensive player on the other end. So you can lead the league in charges when you can cheat off of your guy, get in the lane, and anticipate. And I'm not saying that that's not good headspace and that's not a good heady play. And I'm not saying that it isn't speak volumes for a guy that shouldn't have to put forth that kind of effort offensively. But let's not get it twisted. Jason Tatum is one of the most versatile, skilled players in the NBA who came back less than a year after rupturing his Achilles and looked just like the exact same player that he was when he went down with the Achilles tear in the first place, which happened last playoff run. So, I mean, like, I get it, but like the recency bias is crazy because I told you. Value alone of not playing defense to the degree that Jason Tatum plays defense, off rip, he's not a better. Like, just period, he is not a better player. He is the best player in the Eastern Conference this season, maybe at least during this playoff run. But if you're saying since September, sure, because Jason Tatum and Tyrese Halliburton weren't playing back in September, that's fine. But like,
I wrote these words in September in an article that I wrote that he was, and this was the reason why I said that the Knicks would make the finals, was because that the Knicks had the best player in the East. I feel like the aggregate of all of the things that he can do among all the players. You're right. Yeah, Jason Tatum was not among the players that I needed to factor in because he was hurt.
Right.
And I love JT. I really do. Like I have no issue with if we're saying everybody's fully healthy and like let's go. I would love to see it because I still think I do still think that Brunson's skill set would put him ahead of those guys. Because offensively, I just feel like he's got everything. Like I really do feel like he has everything. Whereas I think
okay, and then defensively, what does he have?
Defensively, he doesn't have everything. Defensively,
okay,
he has,
so
I'm trying, but but like it's obviously it has worked up to this point. And you can disagree. I mean, I'm not saying anyone has to agree with me. I'm saying this is how I feel as I'm watching the game. I feel like I'm watching the best player in the conference when I watch JB because he just controls the game. And guys reach certain levels, you know, and sometimes they go up, they come down, they go up, they come down. I thought that the year that the Celtics won the championship, Tatum's like scoring wasn't the thing that made him great. It was all the other stuff that he was doing that he added to his game. Like some of the passes he was making, like he was really putting it all together. The rebounding, I thought, is really what made him super elite. And I feel like he got robbed. I like Jalen Brown too, but I feel like he got robbed for at least one of the damn MVPs. Like
Jason Tatum was Finals MVP.
Yeah, like it was kind of crazy. What it is. But I mean, it's funny because the game I was at, the finals game that I went to, I think I went to game 2. He did not have a good offensive game, but he did all the other stuff, and that's part of the reason why they were able to seal the win, which was a close win. So yeah, I mean, yes, obviously it's going to sound like recency bias because I'm saying it as we're up 3-0, but I felt this way in September. We'll see, you know, however the rest of the playoffs play out. You know, we'll see if he can continue to play at this level. But I just feel like this guy is just doing unbelievable stuff. And that run that he had in game 1, where he's just scoring on every play and hitting shot after shot after shot off the backboard, step back 3, you know, get into the lane, pull up. Like he was so deep into his bag and just showing everything that he could possibly do. Like it boggles my mind when people are just like, oh, well, he has a big head and he moves his head and he swings his hair and it's unfair.
He does have a big head.
Sure, he does. I mean, yes, he does have a big head, sure. But like that, to say that that's the reason that like that his head size and him moving his head is making defenders not be able to guard him. It's like, no, you can't guard him because you can't stay in front of him. And even if you can stay in front of him, he can shoot over you, even if you're taller.
I mean, I don't know that I've heard that argument. I think so. This is the thing, because I want to make this very, very clear. I do not want to make this Aaron is taking this away from Jalen Brunson podcast. I don't want to do that, but I cannot in good faith sit across from a sports mind, let alone basketball mind, that I admire and appreciate as much as yours, and just allow you to say these things without pressing back. Because
I want the press back.
Yeah, there's no effing way that you just told me that a player who literally, admittedly by you, only really excels on one side of the basketball, and you're putting him ahead of a number of players that excel on both sides of the basketball, one of which we immediately brought to mind in Jason Tatum. And I'm sure if I had time to just sit down and really go through the list and think about it, I could probably think of quite a few names that I would put ahead of him as well. But immediately, the immediate no is Jason. And you can have the run that he is having. You can do the things that he is doing. You can win MVP of the league. Charles Barkley won MVP of the league when Jordan was still playing. You know, when he was on Phoenix. Is he the best player? No, he's not. He was the MVP of the league. He had the best season. He had the best run. he was not the best player in the league. I don't think anybody. I don't think. I mean, Charles might say that, but like I don't think there's a lot of people that would say that he was. But the reality
there were a lot of people back then who thought Barkley was better than Jordan up until Barkley lost to Jordan. But
yeah, they were just wrong. But
that's basketball. People like that.
Right. People, you could be right. You could be wrong. I mean, shit. I thought Philly was going to win in 6, and they got swept. People can be wrong. Yeah. Myself, principal among them. But like, it's just a very slippery slope. I think we have to be able to separate between a really good player elevating his game in the way that Jalen Brunson is elevating his game, and just showing that as like, look, I'm not a one-trick pony. I am not a just fill it up scoring guy and then get assists off the score. I was like, no, I can run an offense. I can be the decoy in the offense. I can let my ego go during an important playoff run and defer to Karl Anthony Towns, because like everybody's praising Mike Brown for running an offense through Karl Anthony, and they should. He's done a masterful coaching job with this team. Masterful. And it really just highlights the things that y'all were saying about Thibodeau for years. But like, but the humility that it takes to be the star of that team, to be the engine for this new era of Knicks basketball that gave y'all the hope that you could potentially make postseason runs and you could be better than a team that drafts or that trades for Andrea Bargnani and drafts what's his name, something Hill over whoever the hell, you know what I mean, like that and that fucking ridiculous job. Yeah, but like this guy brought hope back to New York, and to be able to be like in this postseason run, our best chance to win is running our offense through Karl Anthony. And when you need me in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter, to come in and close it out in game 1, we're down 23. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep playing. And Edwards is dapping up the Spurs players.
Yeah.
With 8 minutes left. Jalen Brunson out there. Like, no, the game ain't over. And what does he do? What did he finish that game with? Like almost 40 points?
38.
Killed him. He killed
17
snatched,
in a 12-minute span.
Snatched their fucking heart. And you know who hit the game-tying 3? Wasn't even fucking him. The former Sixer, Landry fucking Shamet. The bounce all around the rim like the damn Kawhi Leonard shot. You know?
Giving me chills. But
it's
can I
crazy.
say this real quick, though? Can I just say this real quick? Because part of the, like, again, this is not recency bias for me, because, again, I said this last year, but also this is not the first year that he's like had a good playoff run. Like, Brunson's been to the.
He did with the Mavs. That's how he got your contract.
That's what I'm saying. He's been to the conference finals before he came to the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
He's had he's been a playoff riser, right? That's what we call guys who your playoff numbers are better than your regular season numbers. And if your regular season numbers have you looking like a second team All NBA guy, should be first team, and you get better in the playoffs, like I find that to like I don't see how that is like, hey, he's having a good run. It's like, no, this is who he is. Like, this guy, he's been this guy for like 5 years now. And
yeah, I mean, it's just in the shape of, it's not like, hey, this is this isn't like some Disney movie where like the guy who was at the end of the bench is getting. This isn't like Linsanity 2.0. That's not what I meant by good. I mean, like, this is an elevation of an already good player. I just wanted to highlight the chasm between a good player playing well when the lights are the brightest, and this is the best player in the Eastern Conference. Like, if you like just by virtue of what he does not do, that other Eastern Conference players who have more accolades than he does, at least team accolades, if not individual accolades, because Jason Tatum has more first-team All-NBAs than Jalen Brunson, if you want to go individual. And if you want to go team, he's been to the finals twice, and he's won it once, more than Jalen Brunson has done on either account. So, again,
I don't think that the being going to the finals or winning the finals is not a factor in my mind of like like this player is definitively better than this player because
Right.
they
That's why
have
I mentioned the first team All NBAs.
yeah.
But like again, so when you're looking at those things and you're attributing all of those things, you can't ignore what he does not do. So like
I'm
you
not ignoring it.
so
Not at all.
it's like saying it's ignoring it to say
I
Jalen
said
Brunson is the best player in the Eastern Conference, but half of the game he does not do. It
it's
just
well.
does not do. He just
He
doesn't do. Like
go
if
ahead.
like let's just be for real. He's not guarding people. He's allowed to float off of other people. There's like, oh, he puts up forth such an effort. That is a great thing that he is doing. He's putting forth an effort. Allen Iverson led the league in steals multiple times. He is not a good defensive player. He's won MVPs. He is not the best player in the league. He is the MVP of the league. He is the most valuable player to the league. He is the reason why the Sixers made that run in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
He had a 50-point game in a closeout game against the Toronto Raptors in that series to make the NBA Finals. He had the iconic shot over Tyronn Lue to help them win Game 1 in the only game that the Lakers lost in that postseason run. All of those things can be true. He is not a better player than Kobe Bryant. That's just the reality of the situation. So, could he have a better season than Kobe? He might have. He probably had a better season that year than Kobe Bryant. But to say that a player is better than another player who literally plays both sides of the basketball at a high level, plays out of it. Like there's times when Tatum has to guard centers because that's just the best thing for Boston to do offensively and defensively to create an advantage all over the floor and create cross messes and mismatches. Jalen Brunson does not provide that. So for me, the ceiling of what he can be is like a first team All NBA guard, which is still a top 5 player in the game. I don't think it is a crazy thing to say, hey, Jalen Brunson is proving why he is a top 5 player in the game. I have no qualms about that.
Well,
But
okay.
if you want to say he is the best player in the East that includes Jason Tatum, no, the hell he ain't.
Okay.
Ain't no way. I can't do it.
If he's top 5, by the way, everything you just said, if you feel that way, then that means that I assume you don't think Luka's anywhere close to the best player.
No.
Okay, cool. Which I don't either, but I mean, I'm just asking if you're being.
That's also a reason why I've never really been the biggest Jokic like guy. Not that I need you to be like an all-star on both sides of the basketball, but like people was throwing Jokic in conversations that I felt like he didn't necessarily need to be in, and it was kind of unfair because it was like the credit they were giving Jokic for being such a great and versatile player, they weren't doing that really for Russie.
Well, okay.
Or James Harden when he first started doing
it. Hang on. First of all,
well,
so here's the only thing that I would say about your argument, because broadly speaking, I agree. Yes, like, and this is actually the reason why when they asked Wemby about how he felt about whether he should be MVP, he was like, "Well, it's two sides to the ball," and I mean, definitively, he is the best defensive player in the NBA. So much so that like his value on defense trumps like the average good offensive player, right?
right.
So I think if we're, that's why what I said was in the aggregate, I think Jalen Brunson's offense is so good that it makes up for the fact that it can make up for the fact that his defense is at best like below average, at worst bad.
No,
Right?
because Jalen Brunson's
hold on,
defense
let me
is
finish. Let me finish. Because what you're providing on the offensive end, the other team can't stop, right? So like if every time down the floor I'm scoring 2 points and I'm giving up 1, is that not make me better than like I'm +1 every single time down the floor? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this is where plus minus comes into play, because guys who are, when they're on the floor, it's like, okay, when we're on the floor, I'm +10. When we're off the floor, I'm -10. It's like that guy provides a ton of value. I mean, that's Jokic to a T. Like Jokic's whole the reason why he is so valuable is because when he's on the floor, his team's up, Same with Wemby. When he's on the floor, his team's up. As soon as he comes off the floor, it's a struggle. It's like, okay, he's gone. Now we can attack them. And I think people don't look at when I'm looking at the value of particular players, I'm looking at it from that standpoint. So it is possible that you could be so great offensively that you being like average or even like bad on defense doesn't hurt as much. Now, if you are saying like, well, I'd still rather have the guy who's good on both sides, I would agree. That's why I love Ant, because Ant is good on both sides of the ball. I believe Shea is really good on both sides of the ball. Like it's better to be a two-way player, but I do think that you can be so singularly talented offensively and be on such a heater offensively that or defensively, right? Like you could be so great defensively. Bill Russell, was not known as an offensive player, but his defense was so great that he just provided so much value on one side of the ball that it trumped the other side that was average compared to other people, to the point that Wilt is just like, I don't even understand how this guy's kicking my ass. It's like because he's fucking good, man. Because the guy can block shots and keep the ball in bounds and get his teammates out on the run. Those little things I do think matter. So that's all I'm saying is that like I think there's more to this than just like he puts up a lot of points and it's really fun to watch. Like it's a little bit deeper than that.
To
But I do
combat
understand
everything you said, I'm gonna go point by point here. First of all, don't ever put Wemby and Jalen Brunson like we not do. So
I'm not putting
the
them in the same conversation. I'm
Wemby,
giving you an example of
the
value.
Wemby's what you consider to be lack of offensive prowess or weaknesses that he has offensively, which there are a few, by the way, because
I agree.
he could score at 3 levels. I think is a complete like to even put that in the same area as what Jalen Brunson lacks defensively
I said
is
Jokic.
laughable. Jokic is a pretty good comp for what Jalen Brunson is incapable of doing on the defensive end. To be honest with you,
The numbers
only
disagree
thing
with you, by the way.
I don't care what stats nerds say. I watched Jokic against some of the top offensive players at his position, and they can't wait to play against Denver. And people will say, "Oh, Joe ducks him." Like the one time Joel Embiid that I can recall played against Jokic, and they were both at full strength. Joel put like 45 on him. It was toying with him the whole game. He does not have any work for anybody that's good. I believe Karl Anthony Towns would feast. I know that Wemby would feast. There is not a single offensively skilled big man that Nikola Jokic would strike fear in. He just wouldn't. Now he is a ace offensively. He is a ridiculously good offensive player. He is a nothing burger on defense. Nothing. The only value that he brings to you defensively is he gets his old I can't jump over a phone book ass down in the block and he grabs rebounds. And you can't end a possession without grabbing a rebound. So you can be the greatest Marcus Smart, Gary Payton, lock down on the perimeter guy all you want to, but if that shot goes up and the offensive team gets the rebound back, it doesn't really fucking matter. So defensive rebounding is a big part of that, and Jokic does provide that. So I don't totally ignore that when it comes to the value that he provides on the defensive end, but that's about where it starts and ends. He's not really doing a whole lot defensively. But again, this isn't about a tear down of a great player, and Brunson is a great player. He was a great player when you signed him. And he's an even greater player through the trials and tribulations that he's been through with the Knicks, because that's what it takes to be singularly great. In a similar gamble that Kyrie took when he didn't want to be seen as LeBron's little brother anymore. And Jalen's like, hey, I could re-sign with the Mavericks. The Knicks are offering me more money, but I could re-sign with the Mavericks and be Robin to Luka's Batman. But he didn't want that. He wanted to prove that he was more valuable than that he can do that, and he's proving it. He is the leader of the best team in the East right now.
I agree.
Those are the facts. Full stop. Does not matter. So that's where it has to we don't have to go to saying platitudes of, oh, he's the best player. They're like, well, he doesn't play half the ball. half of the really good people that are in the East, you can't really put it up there because you didn't. I can't even allow myself to hear it without saying he's not better than Jason Tatum. Like it's like a reflex, like a regurgitation that just
What happened
throws
when they
up out of my
played one?
mouth.
What happened when
Huh?
they played last year?
What happened when they played last year?
Yeah, when he played
He
Jason Tatum.
ruptured his Achilles.
Okay, but what happened?
What are you talking about?
Okay, all
Full
right.
stop. He ruptured his Achilles.
He
You
ruptured
want to know
his
what
Achilles
happened the
game
year
one.
before that?
Did that happen game one?
You want to know what happened the year before that?
What happened the year before that?
He won the ring.
Okay, and
Okay, so like, what are we talking about? How many finals appearances has Jalen Brunson made?
got one coming.
No. Made is a past tense. So how many has he made?
Okay, ask me in 24 hours.
I know I don't want to ask you 24 hours. I want to ask you right
Ask me
now.
in 24 hours.
No, I'd rather ask you right now.
He's made 0. So what?
He's never lost a finals game, Jalen Brunson, because he's never been in one. So again, when I tell you that Jason Tatum is a better player than Jalen Brunson, know that it is not.
Anything, though.
He is, though. There is no aspect of the game, not one, except for head size, that definitively, and honestly, Jason Tatum got a pretty big head, so maybe not even head size, but there's not one aspect of the game that you could definitively be like, you know what? This makes Jalen Brunson head and shoulders above. He's a better three-point shooter than Jason Tatum is. Full stop. He is a better free throw shooter than Jason Tatum is. Full stop.
And he's a better scorer.
He's not a better.
Listen,
he's just not. He's not a better scorer than Jason Tatum.
We can agree to disagree.
It's not an agree to disagree thing. When Jason Tatum gets a full season, he scores more than Jalen Brunson. That's what happens.
Okay.
What is this? Okay. What is that? Last full season Jason Tatum had, that was 24-25 season. Jason Tatum was 5th in the NBA, not in the East, in the NBA. He was 2nd in the East, by the way, but 5th in the NBA, 26.8 points per game. Jalen Brunson not on that list. Did not make the top 5. So, by your definition of better scorers put points on the board. And I'm looking at you right here the last time that both players were completely healthy. Jason Tatum averaged more points per game. That was just last season. So, we're not going to like revise history here and be no, he's not. Jason Tatum is a better player than Jalen Brunson. It's like a full stop. He is not a better three-point shooter. He is not a better free throw shooter. Great. Clap your hands. All of the things. Jason Tatum can still make threes. He still makes his free throws. He's just not better at doing it than Jalen Brunson is. And that's fantastic. Jason Tatum is, I would say, an on par facilitator. I'm not going to say he's a better facilitator. Jalen Brunson does his fair share of facilitating himself on par. Jason Tatum, it's not even a conversation defensively. Rebounding, not even a conversation. So Jason Tatum physically is a more imposing player. He's a bigger player. So you have the physical advantage there. So there's really no other aspect of the game. You have the scoring, you have the facilitating, you have the rebounding, you have the defense, and after that you have the physicality. And then you have the shooting. So if you're going to go 6 phases, Jalen has shooting. He got 1 out of 6. And the other one, facilitating, I said, is a tie. So we'll say 1.5. There's nothing that you can do. But again, guys, this is I can't allow those things to continue from a Knicks fan. It just I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. But this is not the anti-Jason Tatum. I mean, the anti-Jalen Brunson podcast, because I have a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson, the player, and the run that his team is on and the things that he's been able to do. He has been incredible during this entire postseason run for the Knicks. He's a big reason why they're probably going to sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers come Memorial Day tomorrow. So I just think it's been an interesting postseason on the Eastern Conference side. Obviously, you wish there was full health on both sides, but the New York Knicks, the run that they went on, the things that they've been able to do, the things that they have been able to accomplish as a team is nothing short of outstanding. 10 wins in a row. Any and all of my friends that are Knicks fans, I mean, you deserve to pop your shit. It's going to be obnoxious to me because, I've come out and I've said I cannot stand just the sound of Knicks fans cheering. It drives me insane to hear, them, raising their voices and running around the city and up in your face and all that other kind of stuff. But they've earned it as a fan base. They've waited a long time. You yourself have waited a long time to see your team come back into the finals. I'm still waiting. I'm probably going to be waiting a long, might even be a longer time than you've had to wait because it was 27 years for you, and you made it to the finals 2 years prior to my team making it to the finals. Philly ain't making it to the finals in the next 2 years. I can tell you that for sure. So it's going to be a long one for me. It's going to be a long one for me. And unfortunately, it's like that for all of the sports teams that I root for. So this is a dark period for me.
Hey, keep the faith, man.
I don't have any.
Keep the faith.
I don't have any. Unfortunately, I've been tasked with watching Red Sox baseball this year, so that faith is gone. It's out the door. I got nothing. Yankees are sweeping the Red Sox at Fenway Park. Sixers got my teams are 0-7 against your team this year. Tough. Since baseball started. 0-7.
Tough.
Nasty work. It's beyond tough. I don't have one win in 7 games across 2 sports.
Yeah. You know who else doesn't have a win?
The Cavaliers.
In three albums.
Oh, that's not nice. Ooh. No wins? Ooh. So you don't like Iceman, Habibi, or Maid of Honor?
I mean, let's just
nothing.
Here's what I like. I don't even know which. First of all, don't drop 3 albums at the same time.
Agree. Hard agree.
Just don't do that.
Diluting the product.
It's stupid. I listened to Iceman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first I listened to what ended up being one of the Make Thems. I can't remember. Should have just made it a timestamp. I don't. Come on. I listened to the song, before the album came out, and I was like, okay, cool. Why are we still talking about the Kendrick thing? I had a whole debate with someone about like, oh well, he's just not supposed to bring it up. It's like, yeah, I mean, if I lost in the most public, embarrassing fashion, I don't think I would ever bring it up ever. Like we would all just move the fuck on.
Jay-Z and Nas had like one diss track for each other, maybe a couple of them, but like Jay-Z doesn't continue to bring up either. Like they're friends now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
They squashed it, but even when they squashed it, he wasn't like. He wasn't like, and let me tell you something else about.
Did you call me a Tae Bo ho? First of all, it's not Tae Bo. It's Taekwondo. You know what I mean? Like
it's Tai Chi, nigga.
Right?
Like no, come on, man.
Let it go.
I thought that was like a bad way to start, and then really the whole Iceman album is just him, sort of reliving the past.
He's venting.
I felt like, look, man, you're kind of 2 years late on this. If you wanted to do this in 2025, fine. I think we would have all been like, okay, like get your shit off. We've all moved on. And like the line that killed me the most was when he said like, what is a loss? And that's when I was just like, all right, I got to turn this shit off because I can't even actually listen to you. Like a loss is when someone disses you and then they do the song at the Super Bowl. That's a loss.
Yeah. And then win a Grammy for that song.
Yeah, like
all within a year. By the way, it's a hard L to take for someone who has been at the top as long. I think Drake's run, it might have even been longer than. I mean, it's up there with Jay-Z's. I don't know if it's longer. I'd have to really look at it, but like his run of being number one, just like the number one guy, the summer anthem guy. He's always been the summer anthem guy. He's been the feature guy and the album guy. Like usually you get like one of those crowns. Like, I can't wait for the Drake feature, or I can't wait for the Drake summer anthem. Like, no, he was the album guy. He was the summer anthem guy. He was the feature guy, jumping on the Khaled tracks and all that other kind of stuff. He was that guy in hip hop for so long, and then you just tugged at the wrong cape, and Kendrick had to take you behind the woodshed. It's fine. Honestly, Drake has won more rap beefs than he's lost.
Has he?
He lost to Pusha and he lost to Kendrick. That's fine. That's
Which one did he
fine.
win? The
He
Meek Mill one?
beat. I mean, I Love McConan is like I was like
That was his
kind of
rap.
playing with
He
his
was
food.
signed to him.
He still beefed with him. I can't tell you what happened with a beef. You beef with him. That's what happens in a
Come on,
beef.
man.
You beef with him. He beat. I Love McConan. Obviously, he beat Meek Mill. I mean, I don't think anybody's gonna argue against
No,
that.
of course not. He won. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat that one. He won against Rick Ross twice.
I mean, I
He
guess.
beat Rick Ross.
Well, no, it's like I didn't care. So
Yeah,
none
but I
of those
mean,
were.
your caring doesn't mean he wasn't in a rap beef that he won.
Well, he
He
was
won the
at the
rap beef.
same time he was getting his ass kicked by Kendrick, so it kind of didn't matter.
It wasn't. No. This was further back. That they were beefing, and then who was it? Common too. The Stay Scheming. He beat Common.
I mean, it's like,
come on. So now you're doing the thing.
But no. Here's my thing. Like, and Common's actually one of my top 5 favorite rappers. I agree. Yeah, like he Drake did the whole thing that he did. I felt like he's sure he won, but it's like these are not. It's not like he beefed with Common in 1994 when Common was fucking beefing with Ice Cube. It's like you beefing with Common when he's doing movies with Queen Latifah and fucking doing the NBA All Star Game halftime shows. Like it's a little bit different. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just a little bit different. To that end, I think what you said about Drake having the run, the longer run, and than like Jay-Z and all these other people, I think the game and the game that he's trying to win at is a different game than what I think a lot of other rappers are trying to win at. Obviously, you want to be number one. Everybody wants to be number one. Anybody would be lying if they said they didn't want to be number one. People want their music to be the most played and all of that stuff. But I just feel like what he was doing, what he's been trying to do, is something different than what Jay-Z is trying to do, which is like, I think Jay-Z's like, yo, I'm obviously I want to be a great rapper and I want to be successful and I want to be a great businessman. Kendrick is like the ultimate, like, I want to be a great lyricist. Nas is like, I want to be a great lyricist. Like, I just want to put out this music and I want people to understand it. Like, I want to feed the fan base, right? And Drake is like, I want to be as widely distributed as humanly possible. And he's extremely successful at that. Nobody has been more successful at that than like the Beatles or Michael Jackson. And like, that's the list, you know what I mean? So congratulations on that. But when it comes down to like rapping against another nigga that can rap, I just.
So Meek Mill can't rap.
Meek
So Common can't rap. Like I just don't. What's unfair to me, and again,
well, I never feel like he out rapped either one of them. I thought what he did was he put them on the stage and said like, here are the things that I think I can poke at, and he ran with it.
That's what I don't understand why it is so difficult for people to give credit where it's due and then just tell the truth when you don't deserve credit. Like, I have been a huge Drake fan since Replacement Girl. Before he was even signed to Young Money, and he did a music video with Trey Songz, and that got him in trouble with the label he was on at the time and whatnot, and all those types of things like that. My sister put me on to Drake, and we were cleaning the house one day because she used to watch Degrassi, and that's how she heard about Drake. I was like, "You better put a Nickelodeon rap on my fucking iPod," and I was like, "Bob," I was like that meme that they have of like the guy with his head out the window, like listening to the music with his girlfriend, and he's like jamming but don't want her to know. That's how I felt sweeping the stairs. Yeah. At our house growing up, when she put on Replacement Girl the first time, I was like, damn, this should go kind of hard. But I can admit, when you lose, he lost to Kendrick. It was a better song. I knew that he was going to lose to Kendrick. I was actually surprised for the brief moment that I felt like he might have been up. Like he had a couple of good jabs in there against Kendrick, and I was actually kind of surprised that he made it as good of a fight as he did for as long as he did before Kendrick landed the knockout blow. And then this 3 album run, I wasn't super impressed with. Maid of Honor, I felt good about playing it. If it sounds good in the car, if you sit and listen to the lyrics, it'll kind of grate at you and stuff like that. But sometimes I just want to. But that's not all of Drake's music, though. That's just not.
Okay.
There are seasons for what you want to listen to. It's summertime. I'm not trying to listen to rapidy rap. I don't care about your conscious shit right now. I'm trying to play music at ridiculously high dBs with my windows down and enjoy my commute to and from work or wherever I gotta go. You know what I mean? That's what and that's what I'm looking for. And Drake has provided enough raps.
Wait, but time out. Mm-hmm. I agree with you, which is why he could have left Iceman in the drafts, because that's not what that album is. That album is him complaining for 18 songs about the same thing. He just goes on about the same thing. So that's why. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't like the 3-album drop. I liked Maid of Honor and how it made me feel the first listen through. The second listen through wasn't as good because anytime I listen the second time, now I'm hearing what you're saying. Like when I listen the first time, I'm just kind of grooving and, the beat or whatever it is. And when I'm listening the second time, that's when I'm really listening for like content and I'm listening for like my playlist now. So now I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep running Maid of Honor back in the car. I'm going to cherry pick my favorite 3-4 songs, add it to my playlist that are my go-to playlists. And then I'm going to just go from there. And, I'll be able to play my playlist on shuffle and I can start my shuffle wherever I want. But as I'm doing that, I'm realizing, it's not really all that on second and third listen. But that's also what happens a lot of times when you dilute the product. Like you can't take a three-year hiatus and then come back with the 3 albums that you didn't drop in those 3 years. Give me 15 great songs as opposed to like 40 mediocre songs.
Let me ask you a question. What if he's just not capable of making more than Maid of Honor? Like, what if that's just all he's good at?
But it's not, because he's made better music.
Just go through the thought exercise, because I agree with you. Yes, obviously he's made better music, but I'm saying like at a certain point creatively, you do kind of reach a point where you've probably hit a certain amount of areas multiple times in multiple different ways. I personally would not call Drake expansive in his creativity, or I would not call him. He has depth, but not in the sense that like, oh, he's tapping into like different subjects. All of his music is focused on his internal self and his thoughts. So
I'll tell you what Drake's biggest problem is he's not growing with himself or his fan base. You have to pick one of those two things to grow with, and he is stuck in a Peter Pan state where he's still talking about getting left on red by the models, or getting betrayed by people who he thought was his friends, and latching himself on to like, nobody's gonna look at LeBron James and like make a friendship with LeBron James post him being LeBron. Like, you didn't meet LeBron when he was St. Vincent St. Mary LeBron. Okay, right. You met him after he was LeBron James.
Miami.
Okay,
you met that nigga in Miami.
He's not going to be loyal to you. LeBron has never in his life proven to be loyal to anybody that has met him in that time. He's going to put you on the Summer Jam screen like he did to Kevin Love when Kevin Love pissed him off. You come in and you ship it out time, like you get that look. When Kendrick dropped that Not Like Us, you got that same look that DeAndre Ayton got this past postseason. You know what I'm saying? He kind of look at you down the bench, and then somebody gonna make the meme or the gif, and a couple months later your ass is gonna be shipped out of town. And that's exactly what a lot of LeBron's professional relationships have been. Obviously there are exceptions to every rule, but like, it's not like LeBron is doing something that's crazy out of character for what he's been, and he doesn't owe Drake anything. He likes his music. Like, who fucking cares? Get over it. It's, oh my God, my best year, fuck you. Like, LeBron come on, man, like that's really, I don't want to hear that. But the problem is like you grow with yourself in the era and the mode that you're in. Like Jay-Z, he's not really rapping about crack as much or any of that stuff anymore. He
Well,
raps about
he
he
can
can, but
rap about
he
it
raps
in a
about his
from a
life.
reflective state. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. He's not like, yo, me, strict and
I'm
all
on the
that.
block.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
strict not
Ripping the
telling him to
pot.
finish
Yeah,
his breakfast no more. Like this is he's now not worried about like putting money on Tata's book. Tata's out. So it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like now my life is about now like investment
being a
portfolios. And
dad.
I bought Blue Ivy a painting, and
Yeah,
she was leaning on it the other day. That painting's going to be worth $1 billion one day, or whatever, $10 million one day. And my baby over here playing with it like your child plays with that fucking, painting that they got at Etsy. But like, this is a different era of my life, and you don't have to love the era that I'm in, but I became famous not because I rapped to you about the drug game. Jay-Z realized, and what a lot of great rappers realize, you fuck with me because I paint a picture. And the best way that I paint a picture is of the environment that I'm in. And in that time, I was getting out of the drug game. At the time of Big Pimpin', I was fucking hoes. I was, in my mid-20s. You know what I'm saying? That's what it
he
is.
was like 30, but yeah.
Yeah. At the time of Kingdom Come, I was dealing with my first breakup with Beyonce and dealing with the reality of like, this baddest bitch in the game still want to wear my chain or not? Like, how does that make me feel? My nephew died, and that feels like it's my fault. Like, all these different emotions coming through my brain, and he's trying to put it together while making an album or making an album to go with American Gangster and all that stuff down the road. So, like, you have these things that enter into your life. 444, we all know what that's about. So, these things that are entering into your life, these phases of your life that you're in, and I'm going to give it to you in the best way that I know how. It's my therapy. Drake, I don't want to hear about the models and shit. Marvin's Room was great when I was in college. It's fantastic. Like, that shit is peak.
Not for me, but go ahead.
I'm going to be honest with you, the JoJo remix is better, but the peak shit for me. But I don't need to hear that anymore. Your life is different.
But
So like, I think Drake is suffering from what Kevin Hart suffered from after his first comedic run.
Yeah.
It's like you're not the short, quote unquote loser anymore, man. You're a multimillionaire and a fitness icon and a handsome man. So it's like, we're not gonna believe that you don't get the girl. We're not gonna believe that, because you're a short guy, people overlook you and all that. Everyone knows who you are, Kevin. So you got to find a new punchline.
Well, I mean, this is I think you made my point. Basically, what I was saying is like he has not shown any growth, and to be honest, Kendrick made this point on Euphoria. It's like, keep making me dance, waving my hands, and there won't be no threat. Like you're really good at making songs that make people want to dance, and he got a lot of those on. I can't even remember which of the other two albums it is. There's a lot of those on there. Like, there's a lot of really good songs on there that I'm just like, man, this is gonna go absolutely crazy at a day party. As if I'm gonna be at a day party, but
Right.
one of these days when I drop the baby off. But like,
exactly.
but you know what I mean? Like, it's like it takes you back to 2016. It takes you back to 2017, like when we really were like every 3 days we were out there, boom, 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 moving around, and you get that feeling again because he can do that. But what he can't do, for some reason, is be honest with himself and just be like, hey man, I've been an asshole to people and they didn't like it. And when I was getting my ass kicked by the best rapper in the world, nobody was really on my side because they were like, man, you kind of deserve it because we don't really like you. Like, we don't like the way you've been moving. Like,
Right.
I think it's been borne out in every conversation that has been had
But I
about
don't.
the guy.
What you said was incapable. Yeah.
Let me just finish. Yes, you're right. But let me rephrase it. I won't say he's incapable because I do think he's capable of doing it, but I don't think that he wants to make anything other than the songs that, like, the Sexy Red Cha Cha Slide, whatever the hell that thing is. Like, I don't
You throw
get
that
it.
one away.
I don't get it. But I mean,
You throw that one away.
it's like, but that's what I mean. It's like I just, and that's fine if that's all you can, if that's all you can muster, then that's fine. But please don't bore me with 18 tracks about how it's everybody else versus you, because I can't. Like, I
Hmm.
honestly don't think I'll listen to Iceman ever again, because I was just like, after one listen, I was like, all right, it's cool, but like, there's nothing on there that moved me at all. I was like, this is, and it's unfortunate because this is a guy I really, really have listened to his music for so long and have enjoyed his music and tried to digest his
Yeah,
music and take stuff from it. We've all written, Drake quotes on our IG captions. You know what I'm saying?
everybody
Like,
is.
so it's not like he's inconsequential in the scope of our lives, but it's like
Mhm.
we outgrew him. I feel like I really feel like that's what's happening. It's like him
It's
being around the
it's
same age as us. A lot of us have outgrown him, and it's like, you know, okay,
it's teetering on that. It's
yeah.
teetering on that because again, I think the other thing that I would like to see him do is to pick a lane for your albums. Like it's cool. I like sometimes when you dive into the UK drill rap and you get with Central C. I like every now and again when you want to do some reggae, Afrobeat stuff with or some Afrobeat stuff with Wizkid, or you want to jump on a song with Popcorn and do some closer to
Oh my
reggae
God,
or reggaeton.
that joint is so crazy. It's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah, sonically
Yeah.
fantastic. But like, what I don't need is in a whole album to hear all of that. And I think that the problem becomes when you're as talented as he is at doing so many different things and about being a chameleon, you lose your own identity. And if you don't have those people that's keeping you grounded, that's keeping you like, hey, yeah, this Central C song was great. Maybe not on the album. Some
But
things you could just release as a single, or you can let him put it on his album. But like for this album, you've been going for 3 years. I do not want the Sexy Red track. I
but
don't
then what do
need
you
it.
want? Well, I mean, I don't want it either, but I'm saying, I guess my point is, it's like, what do you think his identity is at this point? Because to me, his identity is like
His
the
identity
identity that
is
he wants to
is one of
portray
the
is that
goats.
the
He
identity
is.
that he wants to portray is that he is out here murdering people or having other people murder people for on his behalf.
Right.
And like, it's like, that's, come on, like, come on, bro. Like,
I think he wants his identity to be one of the goats, and he wants to be
but that's not
part
an
of
identity.
something.
That's
I think it is though. I think it's one of those things like because you can't even say. I mean, Wayne talk about it. The best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. Like all that stuff. Everybody's had the best rapper thing. So like I don't want to act like that's not an identity because our favorite rappers have done that. So I'm not doing that. But
but if you build your whole persona around that,
yeah,
then what else is there? Like,
but
you
it's
can't
not.
keep rapping about, like, and this is part of the reason why Lil Wayne, I think, doesn't really have as much appeal now, because what else are you saying, right? Like, as much
Now
as
Wayne
people,
lost his appeal because he let drugs take the wheel, and like it just
absolutely,
doesn't. And then he started saying outrageous shit and
but
skateboarding.
that all feeds his ego, right? So it
Mhm.
you run out of introspective, interesting things to say that people can relate to, which is, the opposite for people like somebody like J. Cole, which I didn't love to fall off, but I can respect the fact that I mean, it's just too much music to consume in one sitting. But I respect the fact that he had many things to say and was like, I'm gonna try to say this here and I'm gonna try to say that. Like, it was still too, it was a lot, but I can't say that he's not a deep thinker and not somebody like, that's something that I absolutely will be going back to regularly, because I'm like, okay, I want to hear what he was trying to say on this. I didn't get it the first time or the third time or whatever, but like, no, I'm getting it now. It's hitting me. I don't feel like this Iceman album, which was the one that we were told to be expecting, not these other two.
Mhm.
So it also kind of makes me think, like, were you actually like self-conscious that this wasn't going to be good enough, so you need to throw some other stuff in there to
No, I
kind of,
think he was trying to get out of his record deal. He had 3 records left, so I think
maybe.
he was just trying to get out of his deal. But again, I think he's gotten to a point where I'm not going to keep apologizing for him on every single thing. Because what I will say is again, remind people I am disappointed with the drop and with the diluted product that we got. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I expected from him. I don't need the rapidy rap from him because I think he's done enough in his past, coming up the ranks to prove like you can put me on a track with anybody. He's been on tracks with Bun B. He's been on tracks with Meek Mill. He's been on tracks with Kendrick, J. Cole. like hits, number one records with anybody that you want to say is the best. He's been on with them, and maybe if he didn't out rap them, he like it wasn't a Jay-Z Renegade situation. We were like, damn, he got bodied. He was like, no, he held his own, he did his thing, and best believe the hook was fire. So, like, he's done enough for me to prove like that if he wanted that to be his lane, he'd go ahead and take that lane. But for me, what he took on was more of, like you said, a commercial lane. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with being the summertime anthem guy. But what happens is when you're as sensitive as Drake is, or at least perceived to be, in my eyes, and all you hear from these people is about how you're losing and how, just go make another poppy album. Like, it's like if you're about to go, like, you're arguing with somebody and your back start hurting, so you go to sit down. They're like, "Yeah, sit your ass down." Are you gonna want to sit down now? No. You're like, "Fuck my back." Now I'm gonna stand up. You know what I mean? So it's something like that. So it's like, I'm cool making summertime anthems until you said, "Yeah, go make me another dance track, nigga."
But he
Now I
still
don't want
did
to
make
make
the
more
dance tracks.
I'm just saying, like, but what I'm saying is, like, it
Yeah.
starts to make you self-conscious, and it takes you out of that creative space that gave you the edge that you had. And so now you go searching for identities, you go grabbing this and grabbing that. Like, Jay-Z can hop on a track with anybody. He's done tracks with Maya, he's done tracks with Shine and Biggie, and a great numerous different artists who have different sounds. Not one time have I been like, who's that? Or what's that sound? Or this or that. He might change up his cadence a little bit. He might change up his rhyme scheme a little bit. He might change up his content a little bit, depending on what's appropriate for the song or the artist that he's with.
Yeah.
But he's always Jay. He's always Jay. Now, even Kendrick change up a little bit. He do that like weird Nicki Minaj shit with his voice that kind of drives me insane. But like, he does change up his cadence a little bit. But like, he doesn't do it as much as Drake does. Drake on that one Maid of Honor album, he had the UK drill shit, he had the reggae tone shit, he had the Afro beats shit, he had his R&B shit, he had his rap shit, he had his his wannabe MC shit, and it's like, I just want you to pick if you wanted to pick one lane per album, that's great. Like, if you wanted Maid of Honor to be like your softer era shit, cool. If you wanted Iceman to be like your rap shit, cool. And then if you wanted, Habibi to be like your, let's venture into some different genres type shit, you're like EDM and dance, and let's play this stuff at the club type shit, then maybe you can do something like that. But I just felt like it was all over the place, and I just would have rather you give over these last 3 years, just give me your 15 best songs. Give me your 15 best songs.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's all 15 has features, but I need your best 15.
It's hard to do that when 7 of those 15 are going to be like completely, like, totally different from a tone standpoint than the others. Like, if 6 of those songs are feel good and it's like, oh man, this is awesome, and then 7 of those songs are just like kind of depressing, and it's just like, yo, can this nigga like how many times are you gonna bring up Kendrick, man? Come on, like, yes, he's short and he's holding something over you. Yes, like, we get it, but like, come on, man. It just I'd rather just like you said, just pick a lane. And if you want to pick the I'm a commercial superstar lane, then pick that lane. But just stay there, right? But like, don't try to come over to the other lane and like be toting guns in music videos, because that's just looks ridiculous.
No, we 100% agree on that, like, and I think it's an identity crisis, and I hope it's a real hit home moment, because he's not too old. He's entering into his second era of rapper, where now you're in legend status, and you're almost in the area of being a rapper where people are not going to want to hear albums from you. They might like the occasional feature, or you jump on some singles or whatever it is, but it's not too many rappers that's dropping albums in their 50s that people still listen to. Like, Jay-Z's the only one I can think of off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, 3 Stacks. People go crazy for a 3 Stacks feature.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people that's like, yeah, when is he dropping the album? Like, nobody wants to hear the flute that bad.
Well, but here's the thing though. This is the key. Because Nas has done a really great job with this. His label has done a really great job with this mass appeal. Like him Clips, right? Like Clips came back, and
Mhm.
I mean both of those guys are in their 40s.
I think
Like
that's novelty though. Clips is novelty because
it is, but what I'm saying is they have a fan base that wants to hear them and their growth. Yes, the Clips is probably not the best example, but even with Nas, like Nas has dropped multiple albums over the past 5 years, and it's just like let's just get in the studio and put stuff out. And people who
Mhm.
love Nas and who like listening to rap music are like, damn, these are great albums. Like some of these are Grammy nominated albums because the music is good and because he's not trying to be something that he's not. He understands
Mhm.
like, yo, I'm a 50-year-old rapper. Like I'm still a great rapper, but I'm a 50-year-old rapper. Like I can't be rapping about, you know, Uchi Wally Wally. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
On God.
that season is past. Like it's got to be something else.
Mhm.
And if Drake doesn't realize that, it's gonna just be embarrassing to watch him try to still be in the clubs and doing the cha cha slide with fucking Sexy Red. I
Well,
still
that's
can't get
why I
over
think
that.
the next well the next album the next summer I think will be a big indicator for me because after all the numbers come out, and I'm sure he had the time where he had the number one, two, and three album on the chart, all those whatever those bloviated, inflated
Yeah.
number of things that no one really buys into anymore. I think if your ear is really close enough to the street, and you have enough people in your circle that are not afraid to tell you the truth, um, then I think they can tell, look, all the excuses are out the window now. You got the Kendrick shit off your chest. That's out, no more. You don't have no excuse about that no more. You've addressed it. You can't be out here putting whack ass Kendrick this is out, and saying, well, I had to say something because you said something. You did the three albums, so you're out of that record deal with the label that you're trying to sue, or whatever it is. So you can't blame the record label now. You can go indie if you want to go indie and do that. You've got plenty enough of an audience to go indie and do your own thing there. So you can't claim that. With like, I want to hear, what does a 40-year-old Drake sound like? Like he briefly grasped onto something when he said, he's battling old age. It was like a brief moment in one of the songs.
That was the first song.
Yeah, and you're like, this is what I want. I want that dichotomy. If we have to listen through if this is your midlife crisis and we got to listen to your midlife crisis, fine, I'll do that. And there are people that are not going to fuck with you again because of the combination of how you got beat by Kendrick and then the results of this three album drop not being so lackluster. There are people that are not going to listen to Drake songs again, and that's fine. And there are going to be people that are rolling around like pigs and shit. It was like, see, we told you. Like, okay, you're gonna act like the last two, decade and a half didn't happen in rap, then that's fine. If you want to ignore the facts of rap history for the last 15 years, then that's great. But like, regardless of how you want to feel because of your own personal vendettas or your own personal fandom for another grown ass man who doesn't know who you are, like, that's great. But for me, it's more about what will your career become? Are you going to be a caricature of yourself, or like you said, are you going to grow with your fan base or with your life? And are you going to tell us about what that's like growing up and wanting to be a part of having to straddle a part of two different worlds? Not only as a biracial kid, but dual citizen with the father from Memphis, mom from Canada, and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and battling those identity issues, and having a son that was leaked to the public and not like you just popped out with a son. It was like it was leaked in the middle of a fucking rap beef, which was crazy fucking work. Honestly, when you look back at it, like all those things, like you went through real things where you have real trauma and real scars and real shit to talk about, real perspective. And I just want to hear
Yeah. I we are both in agreement.
it. Yeah.
It's I hope it comes. I think I said to put a pin in this. Like
Hmm.
I said about it to somebody else. Like Drake's superpower was that he was really honest all the time, sometimes to a fault. And I feel like lately he has not been honest. Like just hasn't. I just don't. I don't hear honesty coming out of his music. And it makes it all a lot less interesting to listen to when I feel like it's bullshit. So yeah, I do hope he can get back to the honesty that made him, sort of a household name, um, and you know, can carry that into this new decade. But if not, then hey man, give us some more of them hits with Pop Can on the feature. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my shit right now. I like that one. I like that one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, if it sound...
I need a rum punch when I hear that one. I'm like, yo,
my wife's allergic to rum, so I can't have a rum punch. I just take that Henny neat.
Whatever, vodka, something. Give me something. Give me something.
Yeah, run it. I need 2 drinks then, but like
margarita. Pass it.
Talking my language. Yeah. Get off the humble brag rap. We don't need that no more, man. Give us some real substance, please. But shout out to the drop. Maybe some of the songs will grow on us. Who knows? Do you have anything for dad rules this week?
Yeah, drop your kids off as much as possible.
What happened?
No, I'm just every time I get a chance to drop that baby off, dropping that baby off.
Oh God!
And just have a little,
especially in the summertime. Trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to don't feel guilty. You have that kid's entire life to be there, to be present. It's like, you're present 24/7. If you want to enjoy a Friday night, it doesn't make you a bad. If you want to enjoy a Tuesday night, it doesn't make you a bad parent.
No, in all seriousness, like, is 5 days a week like not enough? Like, I can't get 2 days off.
Oh God. It's like, listen,
that's a serious question.
Though someone
I know
else...
it sounds crazy because it's supposed to be 7 days a week, but I'm like, damn, I did 5. Like, 5 not enough. Like, somebody
can't listen though.
Tap in.
It's even if you even if and when you tap in your mother or your mother-in-law or father-in-law, whatever, whoever's tapping in at the moment, auntie, sisters, cousins, whoever, you're still dad. Yeah, I'm not dad because my mom is watching my daughter. Okay, we still FaceTime before bedtime. She'll still tell me if anything's wrong, what's going on, or whatever. I still text and call to check in and do all of those things. Like, you're still very much present in there. I'm not dropping them off and like forgetting about them like I forget about school for the weekend, or you forget about work for your 2 days off, whatever that you get, and then you just come back Monday ready to do it all over again. Like, no. These aren't 9 to 5. They're like, Aria is my daughter when she is not around, when she is around, and everything in between. So, like, if I want to enjoy my night out with my wife, or if I just wanted to go to a damn movie, or if I just wanted to sit on my couch and not get jumped on like a damn trampoline,
bro,
that's my prerogative.
Like, in all seriousness, I'm about to buy myself a cup because it's honestly getting dangerous. Like, it's really crazy.
But like, you and Shan said that you might not necessarily want to give him siblings.
I still need my nuts. What you mean? Like, I mean, Louise.
Biologically, not really. You know what I'm saying? They've served their purpose.
I'm tired of getting beat up. Like, geez, man.
I mean, you trying to ensure dominance is the only one.
Basically, it's like, geez, it's like, yo, why do your feet always land in that exact spot? I was reading Dr. Seuss. I was like, I think I know what Hop on Pop is really about.
That's straight up. Dr. Seuss had kids.
Understand? Yeah,
100%.
You must not. He said you must not hop on Pop. He didn't even say please don't. He said you must not.
Must not.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's a very important designation to make. It's like Aria just did, like, the disrespect has gotten out of control over the last couple of weeks. Like, she just kind of, it is wired for energy. I'm talking about it's 10:30 and she's still crawling up the side of the couch and like doing fucking Jeff Hardy swanton bombs onto my nuts. Like, you know what I mean? And like laughing in my face. And then, do the Sour Patch Kid thing where, she'll do just enough to push you away to a point where like she was throwing her Mickey on my face when I was following one of my bets on my phone. And I'm like looking at it intently as if I can change the outcome of the bet. And she just keeps throwing her Mickey on my phone. And so I got so annoyed, I just grabbed the Mickey, I threw it across the room. So, like, leave me the fuck alone with this shit right now. This daddy's going through it. Okay. And she just leans in and she's like, Daddy, I love you so much. And you're like, oh, damn it.
guilt.
Yeah,
It's like, how'd you
have a
learn these
daughter.
things
They
already?
said,
Yeah.
this is it's a they push you away and reel you right back in all in one motion. But no, I totally agree. Drop them kids off. Enjoy your day. You don't need an excuse. Just because it's Wednesday,
Yeah.
dropping a ass off.
Surprise,
Grandma said she
Grandma.
misses her grandbaby.
Right. And they really never say no. That's the crazy thing.
Ever.
Yeah.
My mom volunteered today. She was like, "Hey, you guys bringing Arya by today?" It was like, "No, that was last Sunday that we asked, and you were out of town. This Sunday we good. Like we're cool."
Yeah. It's like, if you give me like a day heads up, like, then I could plan something, and then it's like, it's
Right. Then I can have something to do.
Yeah, you
Because
can't
if that was going to be
spring it on me middle of it's like 3 PM.
middle of the
Kind of
day.
useless now. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, she had been gone all week anyway. She was my mother-in-law for a couple of days, and then, she came back Saturday after Jasmine got out of school. But it was, it's nice to be able to sleep in your own bed and not have like a little 2.5 foot nutcracker, slinking her way in between the two of us when we try to go to sleep. Because that's what's going to happen tonight. Jasmine just put her to bed. She in the other room. I guarantee you, by the time we wrap all this stuff up and I get my obligatory cup of apple juice before bedtime, I lay down. She'll be right in there, waddling her heavy footed. Like, I don't know, is Coleman heavy footed or is he?
Is he heavy footed? Yeah.
Like, Arya is incapable of tiptoeing. Like, it stomps 24/7.
Well, he actually does. He does tiptoe.
Really?
He's pretty good at tiptoe, but he also just be running, just stomping. I'm like, damn.
Like, Arya has the motion of tiptoe, but the foot of an elephant. Like, my sister Lauren had this. Like, she just, everywhere she walked is heavy. Like, you could never be the upstairs neighbor. You had to live on the ground floor of every apartment complex ever, because
could never be a ninja. Like, when the ninjas.
Oh yeah, it'd be over with.
Never make a sound. Yeah.
Yeah, over with. Yeah. Your ass would have been grass, straight up. Yeah, she just stomps everywhere. When she runs, it's do 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 do. Like, you really putting all 30 of your pounds in every step.
But you gotta, you ain't got no downstairs neighbors. You live in a
No,
house?
we don't. She just walks really loud.
Oh, it still bothers you. You just like, yo.
No, you always know, like, because you in the twilight of like almost asleep, like you right almost there, and all of a sudden you kind of hear the do 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 do. Yeah. First couple times you might think you about to get robbed, and then after a while you're like, no, I'm just not about to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's like, I actually kind of wish I was getting robbed.
At least they leave after they take the money.
Yeah. Like, TV's in there, just.
Take the TV. Can you leave the car? I got to get to work tomorrow, but
Exactly. That's funny. Yeah, man. So drop them kids off.
Hell yeah. Nah, I like that. I don't really have one for this week, so I'm glad that you had one. Yeah, drop them kids off, bro. Enjoy your evening. And for those of you that's going out and celebrating, enjoy your Memorial Day tomorrow. Have some fun, watch some baseball, get out on the grill, cook out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Enjoy yourself. Play some Drake featuring Popcorn if you can. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Had
It's a washout up here. We getting rained on, so unfortunately.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's people jumping off the bus into like fucking flash floods and shit. It's crazy going on.
Yeah. It's concerning. the climate change.
I would say so. But, you stay your ass inside, but everybody else,
Oh, I'll be I'm working from home. Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not going.
Yeah, you'll be working from home, and then you got a coach later on that evening. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. I got my clipboard. I got my headset, my clipboard ready. It's like, I don't know why I have that for basketball, but I'm doing it. Yeah. It's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, I actually am rooting for. I'm rooting for the Mercy Kill tomorrow. I can't watch another game. I can't watch another game with this series, yo. Get them out of here. Pack these niggas up. Get them out of here. They gotta go, bro.
That's the hope.
Yeah. Well, that'll be the only time I root for a New York team. But yeah, we got it. We got to get the Cavs up out of here. I've seen enough. But
we appreciate your support.
Thank you. Yeah. Through gritted teeth.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, speaking of support, we appreciate everybody that rocks with us on the No Rules podcast. We love each and every last one of you guys. And we hope that you continue to listen, like, subscribe, share, all of the things. If you know us personally, text, reach out, get on us. Hey, why ain't you talking about this? Why don't you talk about comment, all of that stuff, man. We want to hear from you. We love to hear from you. We love hearing that you watched the episode, or you love the episode, or you wish you would have done this and that. All of that stuff, man. Bring it all on.
I agree. Let's go Knicks.
Party. That's it.
Let's party like it's 1999. Let's party like it's 1973.
But to say y'all lost at 99, you might not want to party like that.
I know. We're partying like it's 99 when we clinch. And we're gonna party like it's 70.
Party like it's 99 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then after that, let's take a trip back to the 70s. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's right.
Put some bell bottoms on. Pick out your afro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Free love.
Go out to party.
Oh my God.
Come on. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Clyde will feel right at home. Exactly. Yeah, man, we appreciate all the love, man. It's been another lovely episode.